All right. Hi. Welcome Oh, there we go. Hey, I have a question. So have you ever jumped into a relationship at first sight? Like you've committed to this relationship uh, with someone when you first met them? That is the question for today. Ponder that. Because you may have to think back, right? It may have been a while. So check that out. But here's the thing, just like with personal relationships, business relationships aren't built overnight. They're not built from one meeting. So it takes time and there's a process, right, to building an attractive reputation that will not be easily forgotten. There's a process. So here's the thing, anybody can put their best foot forward for a short period of time. You've probably seen that happen, but the real person will reveal itself or themselves eventually. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, the process of dating, being committed, and even marriage. But we're talking about that as it relates to business relationships. All right. And so you know that it takes time, right? From the point of meeting someone to the point of committing to them in some shape, form, or fashion. And it just doesn't happen overnight. Okay. That's the reality. And that's where you're going to get to shine. All right. So I usually stand up. So this is a little bit different and it's kind of confining, but we're going to work with this. But anyway, so this is where you're going to get to shine and be unforgettable. All right. And building that reputation that you want to have so that you're not easily forgotten when new opportunities present themselves. For teaming relationships, right? Bidding on projects together, maybe subcontracting opportunities. This is what we're talking about here. All right. So for those of you that don't, and I have some good points here. I'm looking at them. Okay. So for those of you that don't know who I am, I'm Felicia Streeter, the performance and growth strategist for government contractors that are looking to take their business to the next level. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how you can build a reputation for yourself and your business, right? That will make you not easily forgotten. All right. So here's something I'm going to actually be sharing. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Oh, yeah. So I'm going to be sharing 5 meeting styles, right? You'll want to start implementing as you're going out networking, attending events, conferences, and things like that. So get your pencil and paper. If you're going to do digital, get your iPad, your iPhone, whatever method you're going to use to take notes, because you're going to want to write that down. Okay, here we go. So the first thing is you just want to make sure that you be unforgettable. And so how do you do that, right? So you always want to foster ways to help them achieve their goals. So if you're coming from a place of how can I help you, right? How can I help you take your business to the next level? How can I help you meet your contracting goals, whether it's business goals, personal goals, whatever it is, how can I help you, right? Because the more people you help, the further your business will grow as well. So if you come from a place of fostering, how can you help them versus what can they do for you? And I mean, of course, you know why you're going to them, but if you kind of flip the script on that and just change your perspective, right, and your outlook on the relationship, that will make you unforgettable. Because I can tell you, I get people coming to me all the time wanting things for free or wanting me to help them in some shape, form, or fashion, not realizing the end result is they're going to make money. And so I should make money as well for helping them do that, right? And so the same thing for you in whatever service or whatever you're offering, right? Your ultimate goal is to make money. So you're not doing it for free. So just keep those things in mind and just think of ways you can foster being unforgettable, okay? So here's your second takeaway. We want to talk about trust and respect. Now, you know that's a deal breaker in personal relationships, but it's also a deal breaker in business as well. If there's no trust, there's no respect, it can crush a relationship like really fast, Okay, it may take longer to grow one, but you can darn sure crush it really fast in that regard. So here's the thing. This part is simple, right? Keep your word. If you say you're going to do something, do it, right? I hope you guys can hear me. I should have turned up my volume. But if you say you're going to do something, just make sure you do it. Keep your word, right? If you're not sure you can do it, then don't promise that. Okay? So have some integrity there. Appreciate the opportunity. So here's what I mean by that. So you have an opportunity. For example, a lot of times what'll happen is once you build a relationship and you guys are working on projects together, maybe they're going to sub some work down to you and they're like, just give me your numbers and it's yours. Well, you don't want to escalate your numbers because you know they're going to give it to you anyway, and they're not going to maybe bid it out and see if your number is competitive, that kind of thing. So that's what I mean by appreciate the opportunity and don't take advantage of it. Okay. Another thing is communication is really, really key. So communicate issues that may be coming up, if any, in the relationship, any challenges, things like that, as well as communicate any issues and challenges in your business that may hinder or prevent you from doing something collectively in the relationship. Okay, so transparency is key. Okay, so I've already shared with you. What did I say? Let's recap real here. The first takeaway was be unforgettable. So I gave you some ways to do that. The second thing was to have trust and respect, integrity, that kind of thing. So here's the third takeaway. You want to cultivate the relationship. Now, here's how you do that. I'm going to give you 5. Say it again. I'm going to give you 5 meeting styles that you want to implement as you're building this relationship. 5. So if you are taking notes, you're going to want to write this down. And if you're not taking notes, you're going to want to write this down. Okay. Because I want you to take this. I'm giving you something tangible here to implement like today. If you're going out later today, you can implement it today. Okay. So here we go. Cultivating the relationships. The first thing you want to do, and you may be doing this with multiple people as you're building relationships, but have a fun meeting. Here's what I know. People will share more, would like to spend time with those that they have fun with and that they laugh with, right? And so when I say share more, they'll share opportunities that's coming up, things that are available, right? So if they like having you around, you're going to pick up on some stuff as well because you're just going to hear things as they're happening. So make sure you schedule a fun meeting, okay? All right. The second thing is you want to schedule a lunch meeting. Now, the lunch meeting is just basically to shoot the breeze, get to know each other a little bit more, because you know when you break bread, right, you're just having general conversations and you just get to know the person personally, who they are. You can learn about their industry beliefs. You know, you can kind of guide the conversation, of course, to learn some things and learn about their beliefs, their values, right? Because that is going to translate into how they act in their business as well. The third one, a networking meeting. Now, this one is a game changer. And I mean, it could be a conference, it could be a network meeting. It doesn't matter, but go somewhere where you guys are out with industry people. You want to see how they're representing themselves, how they're representing their company, how do they present their company, how do they speak about their company, how do they speak about themselves. Because here's the thing, it may not always be the owner that you're going to interact with as you're building the relationship and as you're working on projects together. Okay, so it could be an employee. So you definitely want to make sure you do this networking meeting to see how they're presenting the company, how they present themselves, and just how they talk about those that they're working with in general. Because if they talk bad about others when they're not around, when you're not around, they may talk bad about you too. That's just the reality, okay? So it'll give you a clear indication of how they represent themselves. All right, and what their beliefs are, you know, that kind of thing. So the fourth one is a values meeting. Here's where you're going to learn about their beliefs, how they feel about their family, their mother, their father, their wife, their kids, this kind of thing. You'll find out, do they believe in going and, investing in training, seminars, that kind of thing, bettering themselves, right? Personally, as well as in business. So we're talking about personal development, business development. How do they feel about those things? Okay. Remember, we're talking about building a relationship. So this stuff is important. Okay. So the fifth one is the deals meeting. Now, before I tell you the deals meeting, remember, let me recap this real quick. So we had a fun meeting, a lunch meeting, a networking meeting, and a values meeting. And in neither one of those did we ask for anything. Now, you can always ask again, how can you help them, right? If there's some way to do that, that's cool. But we did not ask for a contract or any of that type of stuff. We're just focusing on building the relationship. But when we get to number 5, this is the deals meeting. Okay. So the deals meeting, here's where you want to start talking about what the teaming relationship will look like. Because by this time, you should know if you want to continue that relationship. Do you want to go from dating to being committed? Right. And when I'm talking about committed, I'm talking about maybe on a project or 2. It doesn't have to be anything long-term because you're still filling each other out. So here's the thing. You could be talking about types of projects you guys would work on together, the scope of work, like who would do what percentage of the project, what type of work within the project. This is some key stuff. You should be writing this down. Profit split. What would that look like? That is such a key issue that people don't talk about until after the deal is done. And it's kind of like a day late and a dollar short. You want to talk about that. How will the profit split look? We're talking about after everybody's paid and you have clear profit, how will that be split up? Okay. Where will the project money be deposited? Who's going to hold the funds? Who will manage the books? I'm talking about your accounting books, do the bookkeeping for this project, that kind of thing. Those are the type of conversations you want to have as it relates to the deals meeting. From that, you can now determine, right, if you want to go into a committed relationship. All right. So let's recap that really quickly. Here's how to be unforgettable, right? I told you, or how to be attractive and not easily forgotten. Key takeaway number 1 was to be unforgettable, fostering relationship, right? Helping them achieve their goals. Key takeaway number 2 was trust and respect, integrity, keeping your word, communicating, that kind of thing, not taking advantage of the situation. And then key takeaway number 3 was cultivating the relationship. Within that, I gave you 5 meeting styles to start implementing today. The fun meeting, the lunch meeting, the networking meeting, the values meeting, and then the deals meeting. Game changer, right? All right, so there you have it. Now, here's what I want you to do as you're going through this process. Let me lean in because you need to hear this. I want you to act like you've done this before, okay? So don't act like you're brand new to this process. So if that entails you making a list of questions so that you can have them handy when you're interacting with these people, then do that. And I mean, you don't have to have your phone out like this either while you're talking to them and, ask a question and then look down, that kind of thing. But you can definitely have your questions listed and then, I have my phone. And then prior to going into the meeting, review them, right? And make sure you're touching on those key points. So make sure you do that, okay? So I want you to go through the 5 phases, these 5 different styles that I gave you, and then answer the questions as you need, right? So as you're going through these phases, list out your questions and make sure, sorry about that, I had a pop-up. And just make sure, you're moving through each level, okay? And as you're moving through each level, I want you to think about it and make a decision. Do you want to proceed to the next meeting style? Because you may not want to if you just find out something that just really turns you off or just hits you in the gut in a bad way, then you can definitely end that relationship because you're just dating, okay? So be mindful of that. Now, you can make a list of questions that you want to ask, right, and get the answers to those questions. And that will help you make the decision whether to proceed with the relationship. Remember, you're going from dated to committed. And then after you work on a project or 2, you may decide to go into a marriage relationship, something more long-term where, maybe it's for a year, for a period of time, and just see what happens, right? Don't go years at a time. Baby step it, okay? So learning about potential partners, their business goals, their financial objectives, the type of projects they want to win, and then their personal goals will definitely tell you if it's a good fit for you and your business, based on your business preferences. So you need to know what your business preferences are as well. And then when you take what you learn about them and match it up with your business preferences, you should be able to make an educated decision, right, on where to take the relationship. Now, for those of you that, maybe you need more, I do want to let you know that I do offer one-on-one mentoring through my Next Level Contractor program. And so not only will we focus on, building an attractive reputation that's unforgettable for you for dealing with the right people, but also increasing your performance on government projects, growing your business, right? And we focus on 3 key areas. We focus on sales, systems, and scaling. All right. So if you need help in your government contracting business, definitely I'll put the link below down in the description, but you can definitely go over to thenextlevelcontractor.com, learn all about it. If you want to work with me privately, definitely reach out from that page. All right. So have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you back here real soon. Bye for now.